this was quite a cool movie. I have to say, with most of the movies that I saw at the festival, I didn't watch any of the trailers. I kind of read the synopsis and timetabled out all the movies that I could potentially see, and the cast and crew that I could sit down and have a chat with, and that's how I scheduled my time. So of the 45 or so movies that are playing at the festival, that's more or less how I picked them. So let's have a read of this. So part of the Midnight Madness strand, so not in competition, prone to lashing out at staff, indulging in drug-fueled binges, and wildly overselling the stability of her company, ruthless real estate agent Natasha, played by Polly Maberly, finds herself in debt to some vicious gangsters in this brutally propulsive and violent descent into hell from acclaimed UK director Gerard Johnson, who made Hyena and Muscle. Now, that's the blurb, and that blurb was written by Paul Ridd. This is probably one of the most mainstream movies at the festival. I mean that as a compliment. Let me jump into my notes for this. This is my handy little notebook that I take into the cinema with me. And as you can see, I have terrible handwriting, which is made even worse when you're sitting in a dark cinema trying to take notes. So as bad as my handwriting is, it's even worse because I wrote these in the dark. So I might not be able to read my own handwriting, but we'll try. So the opening shot for this stands out because it's quite a close-up, almost macro shot in a dentist's office, and you get to see some dental work happening, so that kind of really that kind of jolts you, makes you stand at attention to the movie. There's a pre-title sequence where Polly's character, Natasha, is kind of bigging herself up and talking about how good it is to be an estate agent. And there's a line in the movie that is, she says, the endorphins and dopamine you get from working through a checklist, which I actually spoke to Polly and the director Gerard Johnson in the chat, and he said that he's pretty sure that came from an actual real estate promo video, because he said that's just how some of those guys talk.
Me and the co-writer Austin, we were watching a lot of YouTube videos of real estate agents. There's a lot of stuff out there of the art of the sell and all of this stuff, and I think that line may have come from one of those videos. Yeah, because we're trying to take a lot verbatim of all of the terminology and everything else. Do you know what I mean? Because it's out there and it's realistic and it's the real world. So I think that line did come from one of those estate agent videos.
And for Natasha, I mean, she's just so committed to her job. She doesn't sense the irony of the ridiculousness of the situation. She's just like, this is how you do it. This is how we stay high. We have to dance at the end of the week. We have to take lots of uppers to keep saying, and and take everyone out that you see. And she doesn't need to justify that. She's teaching. She's preaching what she knows.
So that was quite interesting to see. But that was a good opening. I think a lot of comparisons to this movie will be, again, I made this comparison as soon as I was watching it. It's very much got Uncut Gems vibes with a hint of Gangs of London. If you can, marry those two together, you'll be in the ballpark of what Odyssey is. They use various different techniques throughout the movie to tell the story. It doesn't jump around in time or anything like that, but the tension starts here and just slowly rises to here, and then explodes in the last 20 minutes in a sequence that I don't think anyone would have seen coming. I really enjoyed the sharp left turn that this movie took in the last 20 minutes, but it might not be everyone's cup of tea. But I enjoyed the sharp left turn, the sharp left turn that it took. I think it's a star-making turn from. Have I used that phrase already? I'm going to overuse that phrase. It's a great turn, a great lead performance from Polly Maberly. I don't think I was familiar with any of her work before, but I'd be really intrigued to see what she does next, because this is very much, she is she's the lead of this movie. There's no co-leads. There's plenty of supporting casts, but this is very much. I think she's in almost. Is she in every scene? I think she may be in every single scene. So it's a lot to put on the shoulders of one actor, and she does a phenomenal job, I thought. So that's Odyssey, directed by Gerard Johnson. Let's see if I get anything else in the notes to chat about there. Yeah, just to say the ultra-violent ending is ultra-violent. I don't know if that's a bit of a spoiler, but that's the left turn that the movie takes. Odyssey, I think it's getting a cinema release in the UK and it'll be on digital fairly soon after that. I'll put details in the description below.